Hello friends and welcome to another video lesson from DBOS Talks. If you haven't subscribed yet, please click subscribe and click the bell so that you can be notified of new uploads. This video is part of the playlist Serious Fun with SQL, and here we'll be learning about the dual table, the Oracle's dual table. And in Oracle SQL, a select statement must have a from clause that mentions a table. It's a must. In other flavors of SQL, it's possible not to mention a table if you were maybe displaying the table, the system date, like in Sybase. But in Oracle, it's a must to have a from clause which mentions table name. Now, there will be cases where we want to perform logic or processing without necessarily using data from any specific table. So in such cases, we must use the built-in table called dual, okay, which is built in. You don't have to create it. It's already there once you install the Oracle database, and you don't treat it like the other tables. In a way, it's like an ordinary table, but you don't need to insert anything into it. Okay, so I'll show you several classic examples of how you can use this special purpose table. Okay, one is date related. Okay, date related necessities. You can get, display, or manipulate the current date. Okay, so sysdate, there's a word called sysdate in Oracle. I will paste it here. So you'll see this once you get to start using Oracle SQL, then more and more you will get to see the keyword sysdate, which refers to system date, which means the date today. Unless your database server, somehow the date is wrong, then when you execute this query, it will pick up that wrong date. Okay, so sysdate simply means system date. So if you will look at, if you'll notice, this select statement is querying the system date from the table called dual. Okay, let's do this. So the output, as you can see, is 18 November 2023, which is the date today, because I am doing I'm recording this video today on this date, 18 November 2023. So system date, that is okay. Now that's one way of using the dual table. Sometimes in your program, you can run a program which is in PLSQL, or it may not. It can be purely SQL, or it can be PLSQL. You may sometimes need to display the system date or manipulate it to display some future date or some past date. In any case, your starting point will have to be the system date. Okay. Now, what if you wanted to maybe display the date in some other specialized some other format which is customized to your necessities? Okay, so let's just say you wanted to display it in this format, dd mon YY, meaning the numeric values of the day, which is 0, 1 up to 31, depending on the month. The first 3 characters of the month, that's mon, the 4 digits of the year, which is Julian calendar, and then you have the date, the time element, which is HH24, meaning the 24-hour time, which is European. In US, they would call it military time, but in Europe, it's just the normal way of displaying the time. So meaning instead of saying AM, PM, you will start from 01 or maybe 00, which is the midnight, and then 01 all the way to 23. Okay, MI is the minute, okay, and so on. So let's just execute this one. Okay, so previously we executed a simple select sysdate from dual. This time we are doing some formatting using the to-char function. Because why is it to-char? Because sysdate has a data type of date. Now to format it into some other format we have in mind, then we will have to use the function called to-char, so that the date data type value of this date is being converted to character, to string, and while it is already in a string format or form, then we can easily reformat it according to our taste. So in this case, dd, mon, y, etc. So you can see the output at the bottom. So the first dd are the numeric values of the day, and then the first 3 characters of the month, and then y, the 4 digits of the year, and then you have the hour in 24-hour format, the minutes and the seconds. Okay. The next is also date related, and the next usage of dual is date related, but at this time you intend to display or make use of some future date. Like I said, you gotta just cook up some date in the future or in the past, unless you want to hard code it, which is not a good idea. Not a good idea. So the best thing is to base it on something. So when it comes to date, if you don't want to hard code the date, which is in fact a bad idea in most cases, then you will have to base it on something. So our baseline or reference point for date is usually the date today, the sys date. Okay, and then you will manipulate it to derive the future date in this case. Okay, so in this case, we wanted to display some future date we have in mind. So in this example, I wanted to get and display the date 100 days from now. Okay, 100 days hence. So to do that, you'll do an expression which is consisting of sys date plus 100. So the 100 here refers to date, number of days. And then the as is just telling Oracle I will have an alias here. It's optional, but for readability, that's advisable to put an as there, meaning as, meaning after that, what follows is an alias for the value being given out by this one. Okay, so select the value of this date plus 100 days. Select that date, and then from dual table. Okay. So like I said, the date today, as I create this video, today is 18 November. So 18 November 2023 plus 100 days comes out as this 26 February 2024. So that's the result of this expression, this date plus 100, some future date. Okay, so it doesn't take much for you to figure out that if you want to display or get some past date, then instead of doing a plus, you can do a minus. Okay, there are other date functions, especially in Oracle, as well as in the other flavors. In Oracle, they have some add months. You can do that also. But for this video, we'll be talking about, we'll make it short and sweet, but you will see the different uses that you could easily immediately put to good use in terms of how we can make use of the dual table of Oracle. Okay, so the next we can show you here, has to do with doing mathematical computation in SQL, Oracle SQL. Okay, so again, using the table called dual. Okay, so we have some expression here, mathematical expression. So select, we have a parenthesis because I'm doing an addition inside the parenthesis, 1156, 1156 plus 44, and that quantity expression is being divided by 25. Okay, so as you know, in SQL, the characters for the basic mathematical operations are the plus, the minus. In the case of multiplication, it's the asterisk, and for division, it is the slash. Some people call forward slash. So this is the mathematical expression I have, and then I want SQL to compute that and then display the output of that here at the output. But remember that we are doing all this while mentioning the table called dual, even though we are not really taking the value from this table. It's just that it's a must in Oracle SQL that if you have a select statement, you need to have a from clause which mentions a table. So since we are not necessarily taking that value from any particular table, then we must use the dual table. Okay, so I will execute this one. Okay, so the answer is 48, which is the result of this mathematical operation, okay, or expression. The next example I can show you on how we can use the dual table in Oracle SQL is this. Concatenation, okay? Concatenation, if you're familiar with any programming language, then you might have, for sure, encountered the term called concatenation. If you have not, no problem. So concatenation is, simply put, it's the process of joining strings. A string is a bunch of characters that go together as one, okay, as one unit, as one object. Okay, concatenation is the joining of strings. It could even be a joining between a string and then a value, a numeric value or a value of a column, database value. Okay, so let's do it. In SQL, Oracle SQL especially, the concatenation character is the double vertical bar, or something called pipe. So here we're concatenating, again, joining strings. A hard-coded string in here enclosed in single quotes, and then we have the concatenation characters, double pipe or vertical bars, and then we have a mathematical expression over here, and then again the concatenation characters, and then finally I have a period, a full stop. So you'll see what the output will be. I will just execute this. So what it did, because it's concatenation, it joined the hard-coded character string, which says the quotient of 1050 is, and then it joined that bunch of characters with the output, mathematical output of this expression, 1000 over 50, or divided by 50, which is also 20. Okay, and then finally I'm joining it with a period or full stop. So what comes out is this. The quotient of 1050 is 20, ending in period. Okay, so here in this video we have seen a couple of examples, demonstrations on how we can utilize the dual table of Oracle. Okay, so like I said, it is a must in Oracle SQL when you have a select statement to have a from clause that will mention a table name. But in cases where you don't need to actually get data from a specific table, then you will have to use, in such cases, the the dual table in your from clause. Okay, so thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If you haven't subscribed yet, please click subscribe and click the bell. I will be seeing you in the next video.